Hi there, welcome in. Thought I'd come on and do a Divine Masculine April energy read. Just finished the Divine Feminine, so we'll see where the Divine Masculine is, because I'm going to be using a couple of the same decks. Clear my energy, clear my space. Take a drink of water. All right, get my questions up here. Let's take a look for April 2026, but whenever you find this and it resonates, then it's your message. You can hear the wind howling. Easy cold out there though. Oh, we're right out of the gate. 2 from that one. Well, they weren't shy. We've got creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. Love that. And good luck, auspicious wishes granted, and blessings. Well, they've got some really great energy coming in here. Kind of want to say a little bit similar to the Divine Feminine with the creative expression. It's like, see, the Divine Feminine's reading didn't have any wands. There was no creative expression. There was no action being taken. And this is kind of like, this is the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine is the taskmaster. It's the doer, right? I'm feeling some Jupiter expansive energy coming in as well. So, yeah, trusting what they're seeing. Maybe, getting a lot of signs and synchronicities. Trusting their inner, their intuition, their inner vision. What else? Let's take some messages from Archangel Michael. Oh, just the honor and trust your okay, I didn't see 2 here. Honor and trust your feelings. Yeah. Okay. And then prayer will help the situation. All right, what is that about? So I feel like whatever is going on with the Divine Masculine, that Archangel Michael's all over it. I feel like things are going to work out just fine. I feel like they're optimistic. A lot of Divine Masculines leaning in more to trust their intuition, their inner guidance. Trusting what they're feeling. Like no longer denying what they feel, quite possibly for the Divine Feminine and the connection between them. All right, let's take a look. So I'm using the same tarot deck. Like I said, there were no wands on the table for the Divine Feminine, but get ready. After April, get ready. Yeah, look at that. So we get Magician and the Star. Yeah, they're creating something that they're still hopeful about something. We've got the 5 of Cups, but there's a big but. Yeah, really hoping to heal something. It's an old issue. The World, closing out a cycle. I love that. Starting a new one. Got 3 major arcanas out of 4 cards. There's the Ace of Wands. That was the only one that was missing from the Divine Feminine's reading. They had the Ace of Cups, Pentacles, and Swords, but not a single wand on the table. It's because the Divine Masculine holds it in his hand. Divine Masculine holds the Ace of Wands in his hands. And the World. Got the World in the other hand. The ideas, the passion, the inspiration, the spark. Divine Masculine, you're getting your spark back. I feel like in the last few months I've been talking about getting your mojo back. Queen of Cups. Something flew over here. Ace of Cups. It did kind of land kind of cattywampus, so they may be feeling like they may be feeling that their divine feminine has run out of feelings for them. Kind of what I'm hearing. But I like that they've got the Ace of Wands. She had the Five of Cups and the Magician and the Queen of Cups as well. So very similar energies. Telling a little bit of a different story though because of the placements and how they're coming out here. But what else for the Divine Masculine energy? Got the Six of Wands coming out. See, this is a little bit different than the Divine Feminines. So, in case you haven't watched the Divine Feminines reading, I was saying how she didn't need, she's not this big neon sign that says, hey, look at me, I'm the Divine Feminine, right? It's loud, but it's soft. I had a really hard time expressing how she's coming back out into the world energetically. And here's a Divine Masculine wanting recognition. They're like, hey, do you see me? Hey, do you see the work I've done? Hey, do you see? It's like patting themselves on the back. Where does that come from? I'm getting a lot of the shadow energy of the Six of Wands, which is ego. It's like, hey, look at me, look at what I've done. We're going to take a look at that. That's very interesting. It feels like lower energy. It doesn't feel like divine masculine energy. It feels like the distorted masculine energy to me. So final card here coming into the end of April. I almost said March. Are we still in energies? King of Pentacles. Okay. Grounded, nurtured. Yeah, I'm really picking up some ego. It's like, yeah, look at what I've built for myself. I've taken the pain from the past with my divine feminine, and I've built something solid, quite possibly with somebody else. Why is the divine masculine searching for recognition here? That just feels, it doesn't feel right in my system. Well, that's what's transforming. That's how they're growing spiritually. That part of themselves. So the divine masculine is going through an ego death right now. And no, the ego never dies. It's just the old illusions that we've tell ourselves how we think and believe and view ourselves. There's this group of divine masculines that kind of think of themselves as like their shit doesn't stink kind of energy is what I'm getting with that Six of Wands. It's like, hey, look at what I've built. Look at what I've done. That's ending. It's like I feel like they're swimming in this Ace of Cups or like this emotion. This Ace of Wands could be some old passion. I want to also add here, it feels like the divine masculine energy could be this month really shifting, coming out of this story they've been telling themselves about the chemistry between them and the divine feminine, that it's just chemistry, that it's nothing real or nothing other than that. they could be coming out of that and realizing, no, it's a lot more. It's love. It's very deep emotion. It's, we are connected consciously. That's for some of these divine masculines for sure. Um, just I want to say I feel like this group is divine masculines currently right now are going through um, kind of a being taken down a peg or two in a very loving way by the universe, but at no fault. But at no fault to, is that how I want to say it? No, but recognizing that how they had a hand in that, how they played a role in that. So they're, and that's so healing can occur. So the healing of this ego can take place, and a transformation can be happen. Could have lost my words for a moment there. Wow. All right. I feel like before they felt like they were on top of the world. Um, but something shifted. What's shifted here with this world? What has shifted? Could be just world events shifting and making them take a hard look in the mirror. I don't know. Interesting energy I'm getting through. What's shifted here? Eight of Wands. Could have been some communication. Whatever it was, it came in like a whirlwind. A gust of wind came in, and I mean, I gotta tell you, I've seen it happen. Literally, could have been a gust of wind that just blew in their face and blew the cobwebs away, and it's like all of a sudden, all of this stuff comes pouring out of them, and it's like all this healing, all this truth, all this consciousness, all this remembrance, all this psychic, abilities. They just come. It just hits them really fast, but it takes their ego. That ego takes a hit when that happens. I can say that, and I'm sure you can say that if you're a divine feminine, or it doesn't matter who you are watching this, but if you've had your ego being taken down a peg or two at least once in your life, right? That the downloads are just so powerful. It's like bing, 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 bing. The light bulbs are just flying off, on and off all over the place. So, yeah, there's something big came in. It could have been a conversation, some communication, downloads at the very least, for sure, that came in and just like lit them up. The sun on the bottom of the deck lit them up. That's a divine masculine energy. All right, what is this Five of Cups in the future energy? Ten of Wands. Done with that. Done carrying what I've been carrying from the past for the longest time. I'm putting it down, taking responsibility for my role in it, just like I said earlier. And I'm moving forward. Maybe they're moving forward balanced in their heart space, grounded in their own divinity, in their own knowingness and remembrance of who they are, for sure. Let me just double check who the Queen of Wands is, or Queen of Wands. I said Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups is here. Is this the divine feminine? Is this someone else? Spirit. Thank you. Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Five of Wands. This is someone else. This is someone else's energy that has been interfering with this connection. I've got Three of the Wands here, or Three of the Fives here. What is the five that's missing? Five of Pentacles. So there's... Okay. All right, so the divine masculine is, wow, they're going through tower moment right now. It could be costing them a hot mint. Why is it coming out like that? A mint. costing them money, a lot of money, um, to get themselves back on track here. Uh, but their fire is lit for this divine feminine, and they're ready for the new start here. Uh, but they're worried that, not worried, I just want maybe just concerned, or maybe the thought has crossed their mind that too much water under the bridge kind of feeling. Has the divine feminine walked away? They've been doing some good work on themselves with healing, whether they call it that or not, but they certainly have found that they have moved in a direction like where they thought they were moving toward happiness and joy, uh, in something else, in another situation, whether that's a marriage, partnership, job, whatever it was for them that was interfering with this connection energetically. They thought they were moving forward, uh, to something good, but now they're realizing, um, that it's actually held them back from what they actually want. Um, Thank you. Okay, that's clarity for me. Um, okay, okay, so yeah, definitely putting an end to all of that, but putting an end to where they've pointed the finger at somebody else, at saying it was the divine feminine, or pointing the finger at, or just something that's like making excuses. So that's coming to an end here. Uh, I feel like the divine masculine wants to make a very solid offer at some point in time to the divine feminine. But like I said, he may be concerned that her heart is, felt all that it can feel for the divine masculine. But what the divine masculine doesn't realize is this is a never ending flow of love. And divine feminine, you know, if you're on this journey, you have tried and tried and tried again and again and again to feel nothing, to think nothing, to for your divine masculine. But you wake up every day and your heart just holds more love for them, even without physical contact. Um, so I feel like the divine masculine has got that to learn, because I feel like in the past the divine masculine may have taken that for granted. Oh, the divine feminine will always be there because they love me, yada yada. That's where they're being taken down a peg or two, because the divine feminine is rising. I mean, if you watch that video I just uploaded, the divine feminine is rising. She's no longer settling. She's no longer allowing anyone, including the divine masculine, her twin soul, no longer allowing, and no longer tolerating old, um, behaviors, no longer tolerating old perceptions that others have of them, where they're keeping them the same as they were years ago. Um, she's rising up out of that. And I feel like the divine masculine is saying here that certainly they can feel it, right? They can feel the healing, they can feel, the divine feminine getting ready to step out in a new energy. And maybe that's where that's tripping them up here, because it's making them look at themselves and how they've been, because the divine feminine's been doing that. But the divine masculine is still in that mode of, um, how do I want to say it? Take action. No. How do I, something about doing something and then taking names later. uh, I don't know how to phrase that. There's a saying about something around that in that vein. Um, it's like they're really, they want somebody else to blame. Go watch the collective reading for April. it goes right along with this. They want someone else to blame, but what's happening is they're discovering that they're the only one to blame for the circumstances here. And the divine feminine's been looking at that for themselves as well. So it makes sense to me. Um, let me see here. I'll look at my questions. So yeah, so those are the patterns that are being looked at and asked to be broken. Um, how they view the divine feminine, how they view themselves, how they've perceived everything, taking responsibility, no longer finger pointing to anyone else, just, realizing that you're not up on that high horse. You've put yourself there, and it can be a really long and hard fall. And I feel like some of them are going through that right now. I can't turn my neck here. How is this transforming them on the internal? I feel like it's, like those cards there that I'm looking at now is they're learning to trust their intuition. I feel like many of them have been having visions and dreams about the forward movement with the divine feminine, and kind of convinced themselves at one point in time that it wasn't real, it wasn't true, that it couldn't be. I feel like they're discovering that they're being nudged more and more and more to trust that. How are they growing? Okay, so we got the Hangman. They're gaining some wisdom here, quite possibly about a third party situation that's been going on for a long time. I feel like also about if your divine masculine has asked you or put you, well, you took responsibility for that yourself, divine feminine, in your own reading. But if you were put into a third party situation, then this divine masculine is seeing how they've put you in that position, but also seeing that you've allowed that position. So I feel like they're seeing all sides of the coin here. And we've got the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups here. So definitely Divine Feminine had these two pages as well. Definitely moving forward and growing one brick at a time, rebuilding themselves one brick at a time, one cup at a time, opportunities to learn, about those emotional situations and stories that they've not wanted to look at before. I feel like the divine masculine is being guided to be very gentle with themselves through this process. You have to start small, and this divine masculine really wants to go right at it, because they are so used to enjoying the recognition, right? But this is asking them, we're growing you small, we're growing you, we have to ask you to go slowly. And again, very similar message from the divine feminines. This isn't anything to rush. Especially hers, because she didn't have any wands, but you've got the wand here. Growing passion. There's the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Six of Cups, the Fool, going right after your divine, your beloved. Ace of Wands, what is this? Coming out of it, out of a healing cycle here. Excited, ready to go. Oh, goodness. All right, what fell? Queen of Swords in the reverse fell on the ground, which I can't get right now. But here's the Page of Wands, the only page the divine feminine didn't have. So the divine masculine holds the wand. Base. So, and there's a Page of Swords. So the Divine Masculine has all 4 pages. And then the Hierophant. I feel like this Ace of Wands is cutting through some bullshit, having a conversation to cut through some bullshit. I feel like the conversation is actually with themselves, or quite possibly could be with a counterpart that they're with already, somebody they're maybe married to, something very traditional, that's been actually, he's in the cave. The caves are cold. I'm assuming. I've never been there, but that's what I'm hearing. And the Queen of Wands, or Queen of Swords in reverse, is she the only one down there? Yep, she's the only one down there. Queen of Swords in reverse is, where have I held back? Where have I held back telling me myself the truth? Where have I been holding back my emotions, my cup? And here's my cup, and here's my passion with the Ace of Wands. I feel like there's going to be some truth telling coming up. Yes, there's a King of Swords there. Truth, clarity, some truth telling to themselves, first and foremost. But energetically, I feel like that filters through the cord and the connection between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. So, yeah, I don't feel like there's anything else there, Spirit. Ready for a new beginning. Like I said, Divine Feminine have these as well. Ready to start something, a new emotional experience. Ready to really ground something, do something solid. They've learned a lot about themselves, emotionally, especially. Divine Masculine as well. But Divine Masculine holds the key. He's the one with the action. So I guess I want to say in that sense, the ball is in your court, Divine Masculine. Don't fumble it, right? Don't fumble it, because you could, if you approach it with this old attitude, you will fumble it. But keep it, trusting your intuition, trust your feelings on this. Pray, ask Archangel Michael to help you with the situation, whatever it is that's been interfering with this connection. For sure, especially that. Where can I heal it? How can I heal it? What do I do? What's my next step? But I feel like the Divine Masculine is going to be coming out of their own sense of hiding or seclusion. Preservation is what I'm hearing, to speak something. This is very fast energy. It's like they're ready to light the fuse. Ooh, I like that. Or they're getting ready, at least, to light the fuse. Because, like I said, don't forget, they've got to deal with this death of the ego first, and that's in the present category on the table here. So that's what's going on now. They're going to have to take some, responsibility for things that, they've said or done in the past, moving forward. Perspective, shapeshifter. Yeah, definitely giving me hangman energy with the words perspective. So I feel like, I look at the colors. So the Divine Feminine had purples in... Was it that? No, it was a collective reading. There's a lot of purple. There's a lot of red here. A lot of passion, a lot of fire. This one says soul retrieval. So yes, when there is a death of the ego, quotation marks here, then you have to call back your power, call back your energy from anything lower, devil, call it whatever you want, but you're coming out of it with a new perspective of who you are, who your divine feminine is, why you're on this journey, what you're here to do. May not come all at once, but the downloads are certainly coming, and they are going to change your world, how you look at it, how you live in it, how you breathe in it. It's all going to change, and that ego is taking a little bit of it on the nose right now, because it just feels like the ego is a little wounded by itself and how it's puppeteered the divine masculine all this time, and the divine masculine's catching on to that. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. I love you. Take care.